Wowee! Holy macaroni! A question that comes up every year is, what does Halloween mean to somebody who's blind since birth like yourself? And you can't see any of the costumes, you certainly can't see the decorations, so what is it for you? How does it work? As a little kid, Halloween was cool. I didn't really understand it, but it was cool. And you know, I knew what all the other kids were doing. They were going around, walking around the neighborhood, knocking on doors and getting candy. And I wanted in. But I didn't really understand the costume thing. You know, my mom never bought us costumes or anything like that. She always made them. You know, she was a pretty creative person, so she would make stuff for all us kids. And it was great. And we'd go out in the neighborhood and walk around. One of them was a skeleton, right, where I was sort of wearing sweats and there was tape all over for the bones that my mom had made. Another one, I was like a space alien, all covered in tinfoil. I'm trying to remember whether or not those were my ideas. I think the alien was, but I didn't know how to do it, you know, but it was something that I'd heard about and thought it might be fun for Halloween. Trick-or-treating was a lot of fun because I was just out with my sisters and other kids, and it was like a big gang of us, you know, and we walked through the neighborhood and knock on the doors. It was all sighted guide. I never went out by myself to do that kind of thing. Big pillowcase, you know, and just getting that thing full of candy. I didn't really care for the loose candy corn that people would give you. Or they'd throw you a few nickels, you know, a few pennies and a nickel or something, so a little bit of loose change in your bag. Sometimes there were people that would like have a little party and all these kids around, you know, and you could go in for cider and stuff. And that always was a little bit weird to me too. I was like, hey, this is valuable trick-or-treating time. We can go outside of the other 364 days a year. You're probably wondering to yourself, okay, so you got all the candy home, now how do you know what you're gonna eat? Good question, right? Because you can't tell the difference between like a Snickers and a Milky Way or Three Musketeer. And the Snickers has peanuts, which I don't like, so I would have to have somebody separate those out for me. But other candies, like the Hershey with almonds, I could always feel the almonds, so I knew I wouldn't want to eat that one. So I just ate the ones I knew first, and then I would have people look at my stuff, and then my sisters would steal all the stuff that they liked. Yeah, that's what you do when you're in a family, right? You take your little brother or sister's Halloween candy. Tell you some of the things I didn't like about Halloween. I hated that we had to go to school that day. I felt like it should have been a holiday. The costume was a bit sweaty sometimes, you know? It was cold out, but you're in all this stuff. You have a mask on your face. That was hard. It was uncomfortable. I never liked that. I also never liked running. You know, sometimes kids would want to run from house to house. I don't know why, but you'd have to run, and I'd always fall, you know, and mess up my costume. The other strange thing about Halloween is when I'm home alone, of course I'll get candy for the kids. I mean, it's always fun. But then I have to ask the kids to tell me what their costume is. And you know how little kids, sometimes they don't even want to talk, and then their parents tell me, and it's, you know, it's a whole thing. But it's always fun to meet the kids, and I just like handing out the candy for them. And by the way, I never get fun-sized candy. I always have the big giant Costco-sized candy bars at my house. So, hey, if you're in the neighborhood, come by for a little trick-or-treat on Halloween. On second thought, don't. You can always tell the dentist on your block, right? That's the one giving you the toothpaste and the toothbrush for Halloween. You'd think they wouldn't give you that stuff because they'd want you to spend more money in the dental office. I'd be giving kids sugar daddies if I was a dentist.